Hi, I'm Donna with Blue Chip Marketing, and welcome to the Daily Blue. Today in the studio we have Beth Moxxie. Welcome.
Thank you, Donna.
Now, you invented the Moxxie Network.
Yes, I guess I did invent it. I started Moxxie back in the fall of 2008 as a very unique women's business community. I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted senior level women to provide role models to young women, because I felt that we really need to get more women into leadership positions and to help them advance their careers. And what better way to do it than to give them role models and mentors. So when I started in the fall of 2008, I grew the membership for about a year and a half. And then in 2010, we began our first mentoring program for women in college.
And Moxxie is spelled with two X's.
Yes, it is.
And it's also very clever because there's an X in your name. So
Yes.
I always thought that the branding was stellar.
Yes,
So,
a lot of people ask me, was Moxxie the way I got my Moxxie, and to a certain extent. I wanted something different in a name. I wanted it to be unique. It didn't necessarily have to be business-like. And when I came upon the word Moxxie, I said, that's it, as soon as I heard it. A young man who I used to work with, who does marketing, was the one who actually gave me the name. And as soon as it came out of his mouth, I said, that's it. But then we were wondering, how do you spell it? Is it one X, two X's, I-E-E-Y? And sure enough, it was one X, M-O-X-I-E is the correct spelling. And then I remembered back to my biology days. And I said, I know somebody was XX and somebody was XY. Which was it? And it turns out women were XX and men were XY. So we said, that's it. We're going to spell Moxxie with two X's because women have two X chromosomes.
I love it.
And if you look at the logo very closely, you'll actually see that it's a woman's leg on a Y chromosome.
Yes, so, like a little kick.
Right,
And even
exactly.
it does have a lot of oomph to it.
So there's a lot of levels to the branding and the logo, but we're very happy with it. So the only difference really between men and women is that extra leg on the Y chromosome.
There you go, and in your logo.
And in the
Moxxie.
logo, right.
Now, when you started it, how did you start it? Did you have corporate funding? Did you start it on your own?
Started on my own. I was doing a lot of networking. My previous job was in sales and marketing for a small graphic design firm. And I was out networking all the time because I had the ability to. I have no young children. I have a very independent husband that cooks. So my time was my own to network. And it really works. Because of my networking, we got some great clients for the company, Target Group Media, where I used to work. But then I was just getting disenchanted by some of the groups. I wasn't meeting the decision makers. And I really wanted to do something for women. I've always been very pro-woman, but at the same time, not anti-men. We love men at Moxxie. In fact, I married a man, very happily. And I just felt there's a better way to do something. So I started it with the intent to build up the members, as I said, and then start mentoring from the membership base. So our members of Moxxie Network, LLC, are very senior level women. They're not necessarily the women that you see out networking all the time. They're
because they're running
makers,
business.
because they're right. And they're from the corporate, nonprofit, and entrepreneurial fields. And they are decision makers. They can write checks. They can take sponsorships. And they're the perfect people to become mentors to our young women.
Now, I know for a while, Corinne Caro, extremely involved with Moxxie.
Yes.
And was able to work with a wonderful mentoree named Lauren.
Lauren.
So tell us about that experience and how Moxxie puts together women of substance, women that are leaders in the community, and matches them to young, aspiring women.
Well, Corinne was a mentor to one of our junior Moxxies. We have two unique programs with Moxxie. One is Junior Moxxie, and that's an individual mentoring program for college students. And then we have Ms. Moxxie, which is a group mentoring program for women in their 20s and early 30s. Corinne was one of our Junior Moxxie mentors to a student called Lauren Garitano, and their relationship was just unbelievable. Corinne was such a great role model. She had patience. She did everything right. There's a difference between being a mentor and being a mother, or being a role model, or a counselor, or somebody that gives advice. A mentor is somebody who is a caring, consistent, compassionate role model. And Corinne was it. She was great. And they still have a relationship as far as I know.
It's really nice. And I've seen her work with a lot of people in that way. She has a gift for that.
Yes.
She's very gracious, and she's very talented and very smart.
Right.
So, and I could see their relationship because I got to watch that develop. And yeah, it was really, really wonderful.
Very exciting.
So,
our mentors say that they get more out of it initially. And that is the case, because if you think back, to when you were younger and maybe you had a role model. At the time, did you really know that they were a role model? It's the further away you get from that relationship, the more you say, wow, that person really helped you. So for our mentees, it does take a little time for them to realize, wow, that Moxxie really helped me. I got a great mentor and I learned a lot. But with the mentors, it's immediate gratification. These women love it.
Now, who inspired you when you were younger? Who was your mentor?
My mom.
Okay.
I guess if you look up the word Moxxie in the dictionary, there would be my mother's headshot. I mean, she is a full woman of Moxxie. She's 86 years old, and she still makes me tremble in my boots.
Wow.
So she's got Moxxie, but she always did it in a nice way. She used to say, Beth, you know, you can get anything you want, but you never disrespect people. You never make them feel lower. You always make them feel that they're worthy of something. But doesn't mean that you can't get what you want by being nice to people. So she was a true Moxxie role model to me.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And continues to be so.
Yeah, when I grew up, we didn't have, you know, these wonderful programs like you started. And I guess for me, it would be my 8th grade drama teacher, Mrs. Scarlatta. She was just phenomenal. And sometimes you're right. It takes you hindsight to realize what you have in someone that's really going to go the extra step for you and helping you on your journey.
And you still remember her name years later.
Yes, of course.
We all do. When somebody impacts our life like that, you never forget them.
And I know that you have events sometimes too there you can bring a man to.
Yes, our Moxxie Networking LLC has as I said, we're not anti-men, so every year we have our annual BYOM, which is Bring Your Own Man. So we ask our female members to bring a male companion. It's not a dating thing. It's, you know, don't bring a spouse unless they are interested in doing networking for their own company. But we do encourage men to come. As a matter of fact, our foundation, which handles all the mentoring programs, has an annual fundraiser coming up in October. It's called the Emerald Summit. And we really encourage men to come because our goal with Moxxie is not to take the seats of men in the boardroom, but to sit alongside them. Study after study has shown that it's the best of both men and women that produce the best outcomes. So it's very important that men are involved. If you ask any man, they want their wife to make more money. They want their girls to make more money. They want their nieces to make more money. They want them to be fulfilled in a very successful and lucrative career. So I always say, men with daughters are our biggest supporters.
Oh,
they love
nice.
it.
Now I know you're on your way to plan an event that's happening May 8th.
Yes.
Tell us about that upcoming event for you.
Our foundation is partnering with the Walt Whitman Mall. You know, they recently renovated it. And it's called the Walt Whitman Shops now. Every Mother's Day, the Thursday before Mother's Day in the evening from 5 to 8, all the Simon property malls, and Walt Whitman is one of them, they have a big Mother's Day event, and they select one nonprofit, and they have selected us. So we're very, very happy. It's from 5 to 8 at the Walt Whitman malls, again, Thursday, May 8th. And there'll be music, there'll be raffles, there'll be a fashion show, and our mentors and mentees will be fashion role models on the runway. So it's very exciting, and it's all to benefit Moxxie Foundation so that we continue our mission of mentoring young girls through generational mentoring. All are invited, so please come.
That sounds wonderful. And what is your website, Beth?
It's that's our fundraising event is emeraldsummit.com or emeraldsummit.org. Our website is moxxienetwork.com.
With the double X.
2 X's because women have 2 X chromosomes.
Thank you very much for being here. As always, it's such a pleasure.
Thank you, Donna.
And congratulations to you on your journey.
Thanks so much.
Stay tuned for more on The Daily Blue.